I am. I feel good about mine. So, I'm excited about listening to yours. Are you already started?
Welcome to the Why Aren't You Famous podcast featuring Ellen Cherry and Andrew Grimm.
I wasn't ready.
This 24-episode podcast explores the question of why aren't we famous? I can tell you one reason why Ellen Cherry isn't famous, because she's late. Mm-hmm. She's late. The girl's just she got this whole process, and she's like, wait a minute, then I got to do this. Wait a minute. How do you even get out of your damn apartment? That's my question.
Very rarely.
My God, the process has been this, and then let me get some chapstick, and then, blah, blah, blah. Let me think about the theory of relativity, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, exactly. That's the process.
That is the process.
So what?
So what of it, man? That shit'll buff out.
Shit'll buff out.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering what I'm meaning by that, on the way over here to the studios in Westminster, Maryland, I was behind a red Durango. What kind of maker makes the Durango?
Dodge.
That's right.
Durango.
Dodge Durango. And she had some Pitbull stickers, not Pitbull, the musician, singer, and artist and performer.
Whoa, artist, whoa.
But
whoa,
Pitbull, I'm assuming the canine, some things about loving pit bulls. And then over to the right, my eyes cascaded over, and I saw these words that were so hilarious to me, I just had to literally laugh out loud, because it said, shit'll buff out. Shit'll... the contraction of just shit'll.
Shit'll, sure.
It was amazing. Shit'll buff out.
Shit'll buff out, man. You know what? No sense in throwing shade on it.
Right. Anyway, What's up?
What's up, indeed? Well,
today,
I'm gonna start off today by just talking about, man.
The movie that shall not be named.
Whew.
We're going to lose probably 13 to 14 of the 18 people who listen to our podcast if you say that you didn't like the new Star Wars.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was awful. And what was even worse is that I went and read the reviews after, because I didn't want any spoilers, which it turns out doesn't matter.
Because it was spoiled rotten from beginning to end.
Yeah, it was never fresh to begin with.
Oh, even better. That was good. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, wow, what a terrible movie. Terrible, just really rotten at the core. When you're watching it and you're thinking to yourself, I should just get up and leave.
But there were some memorable quotes. Well, I can only actually remember one, so there was only one memorable quote.
What was your memorable quote?
When Luke says to Rey, reach out with your feelings.
With your feelings. reach out with your pinky.
God. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Terrible. So terrible. Oh my
and it
goodness.
was so long.
It was 2.5 hours. It was like watching some sort of, grossly overweight, sluggish type of animal take a dump for 2.5 hours.
Instead of milking its teats.
In smellorama.
Just in case you haven't seen this movie, there is a Jabba the Hutt-esque kind of
milking scene.
There's a milking scene, which was so weird. It was so strange. I want to have a picture. I want people to self-identify what that scene made them feel, so I know who to stay away from.
what a better film would have been someone filming our reactions while watching the film. That would have been better. I mean, that would have at least had a little bit more joy to it.
I felt bad because, dear listeners, it was just me and Grimm in the movie theater with about maybe 12 other people.
12 other people, tops.
Yeah, and so people were spread out, but I still felt bad about talking. You don't want to talk through a movie like that, even though it was just so, there were so many things I wanted to just lean over and, not even lean over to you and say, but, turn around to the whole theater and say, are you guys watching the same movie I am? This piece of trash?
This thing sucks.
Is this going to get any better?
I'm going to Jumanji. Who's with me?
we don't have to sit for this. We can walk out. We don't have to be held hostage by this dumb movie.
Now that I'm on a fixed budget, 1121 is a lot of money.
I know, me too.
Man, jeez. Well, what was funny too is
so it's not only like anger, but it's resentment. I have resentment and bitterness that's clouded in there.
After a while, I felt like, maybe we were, because it was like 12 strangers came together in a room, and there we are, trapped, sort of.
Yeah.
And I felt like, this is like Saw 2 or something.
Oh no.
It's like we're gonna have to like gouge each other's like eyes out or something, or just to get the fuck out of there. But God, so terrible.
So
what a miserable.
So thank you to the 3 people who agree with us that are still listening at this point.
Yeah, and no thank you to the New York Times, who's like, it's a tour de force. It's like, no.
The Guardian called Blade Runner 2049 a roaring. Oh man, I want to look it up now because I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, you look it up. I have not seen Blade Runner 2049. I want to see it, so don't you spoil nothing, girl.
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but what I'm gonna do is tell you that the review of it, just like the picture. Oh, you know what? I sent it to Katie, so I can just look up a text with her. Look at me using technology. Oh. Blade Runner 2049 is a roaring achievement. Readers. Oh, this is readers on the best film of 2017.
Oh.
Roaring achievement. I mean, if you like to see nubile young breasts and bums,
I do.
That are like, 6 stories tall in hologram form for like, that's what I feel like that movie was.
Huh. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I know.
That's better than 6-story tall milking aliens.
What was
waiting for Luke Skywalker to press its teats. Oh my God.
And the liquid was like green or something.
Oh well, that's Gandor milk for you.
I don't even know. I don't even want to know what
I hope it's gluten free.
Of course.
What if he was lactose intolerant?
You can tell that he went to that island and totally became like totally hardcore vegan. And not like friendly vegan, but like really angry about
vegan.
it. Yeah.
Angry vegan. Yeah. Whew.
I don't mean to be mean to vegans because I really do admire people that are vegan. I would like to be, but I'm too lazy.
You're too into sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes are vegan, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
vegan listeners, let me know.
Okay, woke privilege.
Vegan listeners, let me know. I don't mean to offend anyone about their dietary choices.
Of course.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about family ties.
Which is kind of... Sha-na-na-na. Man, that's what a good theme. That's what we should listen to at the end of this podcast.
The family ties theme?
So good. Anyway, what was I going to say?
Do you remember when...
this is the perfect season for a podcast about family stuff because a lot of people have spent a lot of time with their families over the last week.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm going to go back a little bit to talk about family ties because we can. It's our podcast. We can talk about whatever we want.
We can do what we want.
That is true. So what was it was Mallory, Alex, and what was Tina Yother's character's name?
I only know her as Tina Yothers.
Yeah.
And then they had a little brother too, right?
Yeah. That's when this show started to get stale.
Let's look it up. Let's Google it. Okay, so cast of Family Ties.
Meredith Baxter Birney, Michael Gross.
Right. Oh man.
Tina Yothers, Justine Bateman.
That was before Meredith Baxter Birney did all of those Lifetime movies where.
Oh yeah.
She was like, I feel like one she was kind of stabby in. I don't know. My memory is anyway. Okay, Michael J. Fox, Jennifer Keaton. That's who played.
Jennifer.
Yes.
That's what she played. Jennifer.
Tracy Pollan. Remember, she played Michael J. Fox's girlfriend, and then they got married forever.
For real.
And they have so beautiful relationship, according to the internet.
Oh yeah, People Magazine.
Yeah.
So Jennifer.
Oh, Skippy.
Oh yeah, Skippy. He's dead. I'm kidding. But you remember the episode where Skippy gets locked in the basement, I think, with Mallory, and they have to wear chipmunk costumes. No. It's great. But there's
Family Ties.
There's a funny episode where Jennifer she starts a band. And they're called the Permanent Waves, and they Alex becomes their manager.
I vaguely remember that one.
And he dresses them all up in like 50s like type of dress, like prom dress type of things, and they're singing "Mr. Sandman, Jamie, boom, 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 boom. And then they have this montage where they're traveling, and they're traveling to Columbus, Ohio, and then Ohio, and then Columbus, Ohio. It's really funny. And at the end, like, she's like, I just want to play our own music, man. And the Permanent Waves play
I can't believe you remember the details of this episode so clearly.
Well,
because we're not that much different in age, and I remember the show, but that show in my mind palace is sort of like packed away in this, like, because I was just thinking about it. I was like, do I remember any specific episodes of Family Ties? And I was like, I don't even know if I remember any specific episodes of Facts of Life.
You remember the Facts of Life where they make she's making the pizza? She makes this really, really great pizza.
Valerie's Family or whatever that one was called.
I know. I kind of tuned out by that time. I was
the one with the
rock.
alien who, like, her father was in a out of this world.
Whoa, that's the one. I don't even know
and
that
like
one.
all of them swirl together in my mind, and the place where they swirl together in is like a dark Pizza Hut.
The swirling.
Like, that's what I'm imagining. Like, those things are playing on these old TVs and Pizza Huts. Although this was back when restaurants didn't have freaking TVs in every corner.
True.
So, like...
And Pizza Huts were really, really dark inside.
They were super dark.
We used to get birch beer there. I remember that.
Did you ever play Pac-Man on the table? Like, it was a table console?
Sure.
God, that was fun. Anyway.
Anywho.
These are all the memories that Family Ties are bringing up for me, but not any... I can't believe you remember all the, like, the details of that episode so well.
Well, and there are a couple of them. There's one where Alex meets this woman who's a banker, and he kind of condescends to her because she's a woman, and then she like completely aces him on finances and stuff, and he becomes... infatuated, because that's what women have to do. They have to. Then
he becomes an enlightened feminist, or
yes.
he actually just for her, not for all women.
No, just for her.
Yeah. Okay,
as far as we know.
I understand.
But and then there's one where he starts drinking, and he can't stop himself. I think it's him. It might have been Mallory, but I think it was him. And he drinks the vanilla extract in the in the cupboard because he needs the alcohol.
Alcoholism.
Yeah.
So hilarious.
It is. Well, it's good for a sitcom. That was Blossom's brother. He was an alcoholic on that show.
I didn't watch Blossom too much.
I only saw 4 episodes, but the one episode I saw was the one where she talks to him in the kitchen and he's drinking a cup of coffee. That's about it.
I did a gig once with the actor who played her sidekick. Six. Yeah.
Is she dead?
I don't remember her name, but she was really nice. She was a nice person.
Oh, that's good.
And we played this gig together at the Moonlight on the Mountain in Birmingham, Alabama.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, how about that?
Anyway, let's listen to your essay or my essay. It's time.
Okay, it's time for us to do the essays. Okay.
So, who's going first?
I think I went first last time, so we'll listen to yours first.
All right, groovy.
Okay, here we go.
Sha-na-na-na. In October 1995, I took a semester off from the college I was attending in Arkansas to attend college at the University of North Texas in Denton. Looking back, I know that I made this decision not with my brain. It was because of a boy, and not even a very interesting boy. But hey, we live, we learn. In the common area of my dorm, there was a television set. And on October 3rd, 1995, a very smart photography student at my school set his camera on top of the television set facing the crowd that was gathered to watch the verdict being read in the O.J. Simpson murder trial. The next day, the school paper published the picture that the photographer had taken. The reactions were varied, and I wasn't in this photograph, I just remember seeing it. And I remember watching the verdict read on television, and I remember that there was a man standing next to O.J. Simpson when the verdict was read, and through no real effort on my part, I found out later that that man was Robert Kardashian, father of Kim Kardashian. In case you are not aware, Kim Kardashian is an American celebrity who made a sex tape in the early 2000s and then married another celebrity named Kanye West, and they have procreated successfully twice. According to the Wikipedia page that is dedicated to celebrity sex tapes, and yes, this is a real page, you can look it up, it says, Kim Kardashian made a sex tape with her then-boyfriend Ray J in 2003 that was leaked in 2007. She threatened to take legal action to block its planned distribution by Vivid Video. Her sex tape bolstered her career when E! Which is a TV network, made her and her family the focus of a reality show called Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
I have never once doubted the rumors that her mother, Chris, was somehow involved in brokering or encouraging Kim to allow the tape to be leaked, especially because it ruled the tabloids the year that their TV show debuted. It seems very plausible that the tape itself, the alleged leak of the tape, and the launching of their TV show and subsequent family and individual brands were surely planned and intentional. The limited knowledge I have of their lives is based solely on what I feel is just something akin to the air we breathe. Truth be told, I've never seen an episode of their TV show, and I don't know if they do anything other than post pictures on Instagram. But in our culture, accidentally absorbing information about celebrities is virtually unavoidable, in my experience. And for some reason, the information about this family is particularly hard to avoid. For many years, their faces, especially Kim's, and her whereabouts and goings-on were ubiquitous. Headlines about their movements, things they bought, things they said were given almost as much cachet as political or environmental news. An alien landing on our planet might think that they were some kind of gods, needing as much worship and attention as actually important things. You know, like an ever-warming planet that is unfortunate enough to be the host to an ever-warring species that is speeding towards its own demise. It's a gross thing for me to realize that I know almost every name of all of the family members. I don't remember looking it up or being told. I know what their faces look like, and yet I can't name any significant and lasting contributions that any of them has made towards humanity in general, or any redeeming value in what they have chosen to do with their time and their immense resources. Although I admit, I am not one for keeping up with them through their most controlled and popular delivery device, their reality show that is now one of the longest-running reality shows in history, having just begun their 14th season. The patriarch didn't live to see his family in its current form. He didn't get to witness the full flower of his family legacy with their unique, and I'll admit somewhat impressive ability to exploit and to make just being famous into more and more fame. A legacy that contributes greatly to the dumbing down and crassing up of America. A legacy that can draw a direct fault line to our current political divisions that threaten the lives of millions. A disgusting, deceptive, and rotten legacy that is disguised as perfect and pretty and important, and is broadcast weekly to millions, and in truth is a mind-numbing, soul-deadening poison.
Ooh. Ooh, boy.
That's what I thought of Star Wars.
It's exactly what you thought of Star Wars. Exactly what everybody thought of Star Wars. Everybody should think of Star Wars. Well, yeah. So, once again, great essay.
Thank you.
Very, very cool. I like the Robert Kardashian thing. It's like, I see. You know, and even
like it was a slow reveal. Like you didn't know that it was coming because of the O.J. Simpson thing.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like, well, I mean, but it's.
Thanks for saying that's nice.
Oh yeah. Well, I think like the if I frame this correctly, the Kardashians are equally easy and appropriate targets.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like, if we go on the rails and start talking about, oh my God, the Kardashians, blah blah blah. You know, there's that thing. It's like, well, of course, you know, could you pick something a little bit easier to but that's exactly the point. It's either that or Paris Hilton, or, you know, there's that whole, well, of course, Hilton's kind of disappeared, sort of, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for someone who doesn't consume much media, like, I'm always surprised. Like, you saw my eye roll with 14 years. Like,
yeah. Oh,
my God, 14 fucking years?
Yeah.
They've been on the air for 14 years. Is it 14 years?
Yeah. 14.
Like, then I got to start doing the math. I'm like, oh my God.
2003.
Jeez. Seriously?
Uh-huh.
Man, you know, the law of nature kind of says that beings that stupid should not be alive. They are.
But it's not stupid. That's not stupidity. I mean, that's the thing is like you can't. I mean, my criticism of it is more that this, and I realize that I don't know if like, I'm interested to hear how you treated the topic, because this was just the first thing that popped into my mind, was just like, oh, how do I know about these people, this entire family?
Right.
And I don't have any interest in them, but I just know all this stuff. Like, how do I know that? And where is the origin of it? And the origin of it is from, him. Like, he was, and I was just like, oh, that was my first exposure to the name Kardashian. And then all of a sudden it was just like, I don't know, it's overwhelming. And also, I agree that it's not like what you're saying about, of course, that would be a family that we would talk about, And
but it represents so much that is horrifying about not the fact that they make the show, but the fact that the show is consumed enough that they keep renewing it, and then the millions of dollars that they spend promoting it.
Yeah.
Or not to take it back to Star Wars, but once again, it's like that budget was $200 million. Mm-hmm. Oh my God! Could you imagine what some public school systems could do with $200 million?
With the money that it's made too,
right?
Because you said that it's grossed like $700 million.
Oh no, it's like $800 million now.
So
I mean, it's almost $1 billion.
So they're gonna make this profit on it, and like that money. I'm not, begrudging people spending money on entertainment or making money from entertainment. I'm in the entertainment business. But the idea that it's that much money towards something that, like, did it really need to be said?
Was anybody really asking for it?
Which is and that's also, like, I don't want to sound like a curmudgeon who's against frivolity, but the amount of money that the Kardashians have gotten out of selling their images, and it's just so fascinating and weird. It's such a weird thing to know that there's like a market for that, a really, really big and deep market for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and of course it's escapism or amusement. It's not. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe somebody has watched the Kardashians and are like, you know what? I should really think about the human condition. Yeah,
like they've done their PhD on it. They're like, this is why. And I'm open to hearing that argument, Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. But I also have never seen an episode, so I don't even know what happens on the show. Maybe they're doing like great humanitarian work.
They're not
on the show.
They're not. I watched an episode, boy, now that I know that it was 14 years. Maybe it might have been in 2010, 2009, I guess. Maybe. It's got to be a time where I actually had television coming into into where I lived.
Yeah.
So there's that. That's kind of where it had to be. Or I was on the road, but I don't.
Oh, like hotel watching?
Yeah, but that's always reserved for like Dukes of Hazzard and
I'll be honest.
Pawn stars or whatever.
Pawn stars. My default is Law and Order. Like
ding, ding.
I know, and it's so stupid because I've seen so many of those episodes just by.
Yeah, everyone moves so fast when they're working there. Like, I if I'm going to employ somebody, I'm going to employ somebody who
walks fast.
Yeah, who walks fast and doesn't want to talk to the police because they're doing their job. I mean, it's been my experience that I'm looking for any excuse to not do my job, or a job that I don't like, I suppose. But anyhow, back to this. Like, I remember seeing an episode where one of those dipshits was opening up a boutique, and I think it was like about 5 minutes of them going, oh, that's cute. Oh, I like that. Oh, what's wrong?
It's the soap opera.
Do you think, I'm so worried that the store's not going to do well. And it's like, the store was like 12 square feet. And these are bajillionaires. Like, this is your worry that your stupid, dumb shop that's about the size of, my kitchen, that's going to sell incredibly overpriced bullshit is going to be...
Grimm, they are following their bliss. Okay, we shouldn't be criticizing.
I should be praising them.
We just sound jealous and bitter throughout this whole podcast.
I don't know. My essay is not that bitter, but no, I think that like... I think it's a scary proposition for culture where we are when, these are people who haven't done anything great.
Yeah.
I mean, they really haven't done anything great. Like, I mean, marrying Kanye West, that's not a great thing. It doesn't change his behavior. He's still a jerk. He's still a jerk who releases his record and then tells everybody they should give him more money. Like, you should be donating all your money to me because I'm going to make the greatest art that's ever been made. Okie doke.
Yeah.
By creating nude replicas of people that he's laying in bed with.
Yeah. And that's why when I was looking this up last night when I was writing the essay, I looked up
You better clear your history on your web browsing.
Why? Who's looking?
Somebody might come in, they might break into your house, and when they break, they're going to go there like, what the fuck?
That's not what's gonna alarm them.
No, it's not.
If you look on my computer, the Keeping Up with the Kardashians Wikipedia page is not gonna scare them.
It would scare me. I'd be like, what's wrong with you?
It's how many times I've watched season 1, the only season of Barbie Life in the Dream House on Netflix. That's what would scare them. Anyway, when I was looking up on Wikipedia, I couldn't believe that there was a whole, you can search on Wikipedia topic, celebrity sex tape, and they have the alphabet, and then there's instructions to search by the person's name by the alphabet. Wow. So there's like celebrity sex tape Wikipedia page, and then 26 letters, and you can just click, and like under each letter there's a couple of entries. I mean, I don't think anyone should, this is a public service announcement. I don't think that people should do leaked celebrity sex tapes anymore because it's been done.
That was my whole plan for promoting the new June Star record.
Yay. Public service announcement.
I
hope we have saved someone's time. I was
gonna leak my sex tape. It's like, I don't think I could give it away. Who has a tape anyhow anymore?
Yeah.
They're not tapes. It's like how are they doing that? Wait a second, hold up.
Because the nomenclature has changed.
Yeah, but so what? They have a sex file on their thumb drive, and somebody takes it.
Yeah, no. I think the
or they
current
save
way
it
is you put it on the cloud.
Ooh.
Somebody hacks the cloud.
Oh.
Yeah, it's bad.
Ooh.
It's bad.
Huh.
The internet. What hath thou wrought?
Insecure clouds, what it seems like to me.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Let's listen to your essay.
Okay, forewarning, my essay is very different.
Okay, cool.
Very, very, very different. And it might not seem obvious at first.
I'm excited to listen and then to discuss.
Okay. And I don't think it's my best work. I stampede to something.
Okay.
At the end of it. But no. I also didn't care. This is the age of not caring. Right?
That's okay, because maybe we can be balancing each other out, because I wrote that one very quickly last night, but I cared a lot about it. Like, it was just like, wow, I care a lot about this. I want it to be really good. So we're balancing. Really fast,
but I cared a lot.
But it just came out well.
I didn't take the time to plan it. A lot of forethought, but I really cared.
But I like that sometimes I feel like we do care different amounts depending on how our moods are when we write our essays. It's okay. I'll be the one who gave a shit this week.
Wow.
Just joking.
Damn, girl.
I'm excited. Just play it.
Okay. Sha-na-na-na. Somewhere in the past few years, the idea of throwing shade gained prominence in the modern parlance of the burn. Whereas before, shade was something to be sought for relief from the sun. I don't mean to throw shade on your moment, or, oh, that large nippled Thala siren really threw shade on The Last Jedi. And this shift in language is unfortunate. I like finding shade and respite from the extreme. I don't need those words used to temper a moment of triumph or success, a moment in the spotlight. Sounds like a mean girl type of thing. Like someone is holding something over you to put you in your place. Unlike shade, shadows have always suffered from negative connotations. Dangerous things and ideas hide or lurk in the dark corners. Their frightening truths, if exposed to light, would burst apart, for their very nature would not be allowed if revealed. Therefore, you must go to the dark side. It's a little weird when we assign such ominous suggested meanings with shadows, looming, lurking. Horror imagery picks up on the idea that there is a shadow world, and our negative reflection of light represents the darker side of the soul. What shade and shadows have in common is something bigger, literally. In order to exist, there has to be something larger that partially blocks out the sun. Always. Imagine yourself alone in a field with no trees, no buildings, utterly alone. The sun shining down and extending before you is your shadow. Defined and longer than your body. Projecting from your heels to the tip-top crown, move your arms and your shadow complies, casting shade on the ground in front of you. A miniature man-made eclipse or nighttime, depriving that small patch of ground the heat and light of the sun. Demigod powers. Until your very defined and controlled shadow begins to lose its edges. It begins to disappear as the brightness of the grass around your form dulls and its borders give way to a fading light. Turning around and looking up, clouds are passing above you and in front of the sun. Something larger has cast a shadow larger than yourself. Such things are inescapable. But these ideas expand beyond just the physical. They are history, family, personal regrets, you name it. Right now, there is a lingering, seemingly dense and ponderous cloud casting a dark shadow on the United States, and we are begging for light. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't. But when we get our long look back at these years of President Trump, there will be an obvious sense of dark days. I didn't think it possible to cast a shadow and throw shade at the same time, but here we are. There will also hopefully be that moment where the cloud passes, that shade and shadow lifts, and with the world revealed, renewed, we again will be able to identify our own shapes and determine for ourselves if that what we see is indeed shadow or shade.
I disagree. I think it was fine work.
Oh, thank you.
Why you gotta be so down on yourself? Why you gotta throw shade, pre-shade?
I got self-shade.
That was like some 100 SPF, man.
Well, you know.
That you were slathering on the essay before we even got to like put it out on the beach.
Or put it in the oven, or
Cook it.
Fry that sugar. Oh.
So I like that your patriarchal archetype, is that the right word I'm looking for, was revealed at the end. Like it was all gearing towards
Right.
relating. Although it's funny because we both talk about politics.
Yeah.
Like we are definitely wrote about the same thing, which is reality television.
They are. And the one thing that I think, the connection that I think I need to make with my essay was this idea, because we're supposed to talk about family ties and fame, and what I was thinking was, I was looking at, you take Bob Dylan, Jacob Dylan. Jacob Dylan lives in the shadow of his father. Mm-hmm. I mean, at the beginning, he does. He's made his own thing.
Yeah.
The first record he put out, though, was suppose I never listened to it. I never heard it, but from the reviews I heard, it was like, somebody had convinced him that he should be the new young Dylan. And so that's what he was trying to do. And it wasn't until the, whatever it is, the Horses or Broken Horses or...
The one with one headlight?
Yeah.
I like that song.
But that's he defined his own style at that point, And I think that was that's a really important thing. Like, how do you get away from those people and you're just being yourself?
Yeah, just the lottery of birth.
Right.
Jacob Dylan did not choose to be born to Bob Dylan.
He did not. And there was a really funny, I guess it was when Tom Petty was inducted into the Hall of Fame. It was something like that, where Jacob Dylan was on stage with Tom Petty's daughter, and he said, yeah, I remember sitting around, when I first met you, and like we're hanging out, and I was like, man, Tom Petty's your dad, man. That's so cool. It's like, all right. So, but I guess they all take it in stride, but like, how do you separate those things? And like, retain your own identity as opposed to the identity of your father or your famous siblings or however that works. And I mean, that just must be horrifying.
And something that I have no concept of because
me neither.
None of my family members are in the arts.
Not a musical bone in my family at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm it, which is pretty funny.
No, there's music in my family, but there's nobody that is. Let me think about this. There's definitely creative people. So I understand where that comes from, but I don't have close relatives at all that are in the music business or even. Let me think about it for a second. Like even making a living as, part of the creative industry or part of the creative economy. So I'm an outlier.
Outlier.
As are you probably.
I'm an outlier. Yeah. I mean, I'm a teacher's son, so my parents were teachers.
Yeah.
And I was a teacher for a long
time. So you did go into the family business for a time.
Oh yeah, for 2 decades.
Yeah.
I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Still teaching.
Yeah, you will probably always be in that family business in some way.
Well, I'm good at it.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's like, it ain't nothing but a thing.
But your dad was kind of a famous teacher.
He was, and now he's retired. He's officially retired.
Yeah.
49 years.
So how did you deal with that fame? You have a famous educator in your family.
Well, here's a funny thing. My father.
I can't wait to laugh because
Yeah.
Women love to laugh.
Women love to laugh. I know women. So years ago, my father. This is probably 15 years ago. He was
when the Keeping Up with the Kardashians was in somebody's mind.
Yes, it was
just to keep us on a timeline here, folks.
Of course. So he when he was visiting, he was going out. I don't know why he was doing this, but he ended up staying at a bed and breakfast with Judy, his wife, and they were checking in, and he was writing his name in the guest registry, and the girl behind the counter looks at it, she goes, "Oh, Mr. Grimm." And he says, "Yes." And she goes, "Your son, he teaches at Francis Scott Key High School." And my dad looks at her and goes, Yes, he does." She goes, "Oh, he's one of my favorite teachers I've ever had, blah, 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 blah. You're so lucky to have him as a son." I was like, "Gotcha, Dad." See, I'm famous out here in Carroll County where it sort of counts. But not really. So we kind of flip-flopped our little roles. But it's funny, like,
Well, also explain, because I know, but I don't know if people who are listening know, that why is your dad a rock star educator?
Oh, well, he ran the histology program for Hartford Community College, which was, for the past 45 years or so, that means that he has trained almost every single nurse to come out of the Hartford Community College program in microbiology.
Yeah.
So when I developed cancer in '95, and I had to go to a hospital, all the nurses knew who I was, and they came in, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna take good care of you because your father is blah blah blah, and he did a great job on this, and he blah blah blah," and so he held them to these high standards, and his long network of all these people. It's ridiculous.
That's amazing.
Almost every time I've been somewhere in a hospital, somebody knows Floyd Grimm.
Floyd Grimm.
Old Floyd Martin Grimm, the third.
How come he didn't name you Floyd Martin Griffin the fourth? Grimm.
Who's
I don't
Griffin?
know. I don't know. I lost my mind for a second there.
Yeah,
I was trying to remember the other names.
Don't worry your pretty little head about it, Helen.
Floyd Martin.
Floyd Martin Grimm. Yeah, my brother is Eric Martin Grimm. Okay. I'm Andrew James.
Yes.
Named after my grandfathers.
I like it.
Grandfather and great grandfather.
Okay.
Yep. So
I'm named after myself.
Oh, of course. Well, yes, Ellen Cherry.
Why do you sound like the robot name in The Simpsons when you said that? Today's winner is Bart Simpson.
Bart Simpson. Denver Broncos. Yeah, what is your middle name, Ellen? Ellen Cherry. Is it Ellen Cherry Charles?
Charles is my middle name.
Uh-huh.
Danger
is
my middle name.
Huh. Interesting.
So anyway, back to your essay, Trump,
Yes,
man.
Trump.
And also some Star Wars references in there.
Yeah, the Thala siren. That's the name of the milking creatures. I looked it up. I couldn't
What is
help
it again?
Thala siren.
Thala siren.
I sent you a picture last night, didn't I?
You did send me a picture last night.
I have another picture for. I'll send it to
No,
you now.
don't send it to me. I'm good.
It's really funny.
Is it?
You're gonna find it funny.
Does it have a breast pump on it? Because that would make it really funny. If the Thala siren had breast pumps on it and it was like a working mom.
It was.
That would be awesome. Like I would have, if I had seen that scene where like he had to say, "Excuse me," and get consent from the what is it?
Thala siren.
He didn't even get consent from that.
He didn't.
Thala
He
siren.
just stampeded on in there and
milked
started
it,
plugging away.
which I feel like is a commentary in some ways.
Yes.
Oh, I just got a text.
Yeah. Well, you got to look at the picture. You can't.
I just got a text. Oh, I got a text from you.
Yeah, I sent you a picture.
I should post this on the site if
You
I
should.
knew how to do that.
You should.
It's a Thala siren with censored
over its teats.
over its teats.
Yes.
If they had redone that scene where Luke Skywalker walks up to the Thala siren and says, "Excuse me, I'm thirsty. Would you happen to have any leftover milk? And could I milk you?"
Right.
And then the Thala siren said, "Woo, woo," and then it was like subtitled as, "Sure, but you owe me," or "That's a blood debt," or
That's a blood.
"That's $20," or whatever
right.
the exchange is going to be.
Right.
And then we also saw the Thala siren, preparing to feed others and being like a working mom, and it showed that Star Wars was supportive of working mothers or mothers,
Right.
Lactating mothers in the workplace.
Right. But of course it
Breastfeeding
didn't because
mothers.
the patriarchy rules
Yeah.
yet again. And talk about white male privilege. I mean,
He was all white male privilege and all over that scene.
well, and I was always taught that like if you were going to express your masculinity, you don't ask, you take.
He did take from the Thala siren.
He did. It was brutal.
I think that was a pretty interesting commentary on 2017. This movie's getting better and better the more we talk about it.
Yeah, because what we thought was sacred and important, apparently, wait a moment, that is a thread. Because,
Nothing is sacred and important, and that movie actually proves it.
it proves it. That's
Because I feel like the three that were released when I was a kid, I mean, I'm going to sound totally bitter and
true. Go ahead.
lost in the past, but like
It's all right.
those were sacred and important. Although we talked about this last night when we watched the movie. I prefer Star Trek to Star Wars because I'm more about exploration and journeying and not about constant battles, which is what Star Wars is literally about.
Constantly.
Except for the one with the Ewoks. There was a break there with the little cuddly,
Oh, well, they had the porgs in the new
tiny
one.
They reminded me of like the Furbies with little stick legs.
Aw, they were cute.
They were cute, but
Cute little guys.
I don't know.
Doing
The
their little-
Thala siren, man, that is messing with me still.
Yeah. I was all slouching there on the side of the rock, like, what up?
There was, I want to get back to our topic.
Okay.
So let's just do that because I don't want to talk
Yes.
about this movie anymore.
Okay.
Because,
Fair enough.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So what do? We don't have any family ties to fame. So it's obvious at this point. What episode is this? 11? We are definitely.
Is it 11? I thought it was 12.
Maybe it's 12.
I think it's episode 12.
It is episode 12. You're right. I think I knew.
We're halfway through.
What a relief. Oh, wait.
And we only have like
Don't say 8 weeks
six more essays, 7 more essays
before we hit the road.
before we hit the road because we're not doing essays on the road.
Sweet.
Thank God.
What a relief.
What a relief. Yeah.
Well, okay, so I want to go back to your
Yes.
essay that ended with Supreme Leader Trump.
Yes.
And his family, because, I mean, you and I are close in age, and we grew up being, like I said in my essay, unwillingly exposed to these names and
Sure.
these people. And I didn't mean to say that like, what's his name from There Will Be Blood? These people. But just the, like, I didn't know that he had more children really outside of Ivanka, and the fact that they were all part of the campaign, his campaign.
Sure.
I know spoke to a lot of voters, like a lot of family values voters who were just like, his whole family is involved, and they actually
Except for Eric.
appreciate that. Who's Eric?
Eric's the dumb one.
Don't say that. That's just mean.
Okay. He's the less
Smart
less
one.
than adequately intelligent one.
Okay. I mean, I knew that the family was involved with his reality show, right? Weren't his
I don't know.
daughter and his son both involved in The Apprentice?
Ivanka was. I don't know if
Yeah.
Donald Trump Jr. was. Barron isn't.
Was he even born yet? Who knows? No one will never know. We'll never be able to find this information out. There's
Well,
no way
now
of
that we've
finding
talked
it.
about it, we're both marked for death.
And also, we need to put
The hour of purification is at
that
hand.
information needs to go on the celebrity sex tape Wikipedia page. That's where you should have to find that information. Is how old is Barron Trump? And then it redirects you to celebrity sex tape Wikipedia page.
Well, I think he's 13.
Oh, what a rough age.
Yeah. I mean, phew. It's tough.
So, I mean,
Say you all.
so hon,
Say you all.
back to Family
Which,
Ties.
by the way, in your essay, you're like, no. You said no.
No, I didn't.
You did. You totally did.
I didn't say the word no.
You said no. Uh-huh. That's right. You didn't say no. You said no. Because you knew all. You knew Kardashians. You knew they're
They're all famous and stuff.
all famous and shit. Well, my cousin Donnie, he dated a Kardashian once.
So I actually thought what we were going to discuss was how family, like being famous is a family business, and how that has probably excluded more people than not from being famous. But that doesn't seem as interesting as what we actually have been talking about for an hour.
No, and well, there's also a lot of, I think there's a lot of danger in that too. Like, I mean, how many celebrity kid fuck ups we hear about all the time? Like, they run off the rails and the parents are like, whoa, whatever.
And how much more difficult it is to deal with that situation when you're
And the limelight. And,
when your parents are famous.
Yeah.
Like to be a real person and have an authentic experience in life and go through either problems with mental health or addiction
right.
or anything that has a stigma associated with it, and then have to do that where the expectations are a bit higher.
Right.
So that doesn't seem fair, and the compassionate part of me thinks that shouldn't be.
Aw.
Oh,
That's so compassionate of you. I don't, I
let
don't.
compassion flow out of me like green milk from a thylacyrene directly into the Jedi soul.
Right into the Jedi's energy bottle.
God. It was like an Nalgene or something that he had that he was filling up. That's what it looked like to me. I was like, they used all of their $200 whatever million dollars,
Right.
and they're like, oh no, we don't have money for the bottle for him to fill. So one of the grips is like, I got an Nalgene.
Here you go. Here you go. Oh, my cousin Donnie gave me one of these.
No, we have to have one episode where you don't slip into that character.
And there's lots of episodes where I don't slip into that character.
No, I don't know if that's true.
I haven't really listened to the episodes.
When somebody writes the fan fiction of this podcast,
Oh, wow,
there's gonna
you are
be-
hopeful.
there's gonna be some annotations.
Oh boy. Ooh, dear Lord. All right. Well, yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm a little off topic today.
It's okay. No, I
Yeah.
think we're good.
Yeah.
What should be famous? Let's talk. Or do we talk about dates first or music first? I can't
We
remember.
talk about music first, and then
Okay.
we do the dates.
So introduce the song we're going to listen to, and let's listen to a little song that you think should be famous.
Okay, so this is a guy who has done a little bit better than both of us. He was on NPR. He's out of New York. I think he's out of Brooklyn. It's Helado Negro,
Okay.
which translates to black ice cream,
Nice.
which is pretty sweet. And he was doing a 3-band bill at the Wind Up Space probably about 2 years ago or something like that. And I
Oh,
was doing
cool.
sound, and like there are very few shows that I do that I'm just absolutely like, whoa.
That was good.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, I enjoy the shows that I do, but this one was like, it stopped me in my tracks, and I was like, shit. And he was a really nice guy. He gave me a free download, and I was like, oh, I mean, I would have bought some stuff, but I didn't have any cash on me. But he gave me that free download, and so I've been listening to this download for a couple years now. I guess it's maybe 3 years. I was still teaching. I was at Century So maybe it might have been 3 years since this has been out. But it's the name of the song is "Are You?" I should know this off the top of my head.
It's okay. He's gonna look it up real quick.
Look it up, and it is "Are I Here?"
Are I Here?
Which is pretty cool, and it's it's mostly in Spanish, but there's a little bit of English in there at the same time. I don't speak Spanish, but I don't give a shit. It sounds awesome. It's just a really well.
Did you look up the lyrics?
Nope. Nope. I guess I should, shouldn't I? I'm like a Jedi who doesn't read the ancient Jedi texts.
No, you have to burn them.
Yeah.
A little puppet is gonna burn them down.
and then giggle like some sort of like evil.
That was another disappointing part. Is that there was not enough Yoda. There was not enough Yoda. If they were
That's like putting Spock in every Star Trek episode. Pointy-eared, green-blooded Vulcans.
Oh, green blood.
Vulcans have green blood.
It's more of like a teal, deep teal.
What are you talking about?
It's not green.
Okay.
You're thinking of V Visitor.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're confused.
Okay. All right. Well, here comes "Are I Here?"
Exageramos tu perfil, flotando lento, me ves así, pegado nubes blancas te queda, un amante del riesgo. Sacudo dulce palabras, huella, huella de tus tradiciones, caducan tus promesas, hay prisa por tu respiro. And I've tried to be in other bodies, and I've tried to be you with somebody, but I don't know what to say. But I don't know what to say. But I got it all wrong. So let me go now. Let me go now. Y déjame ir. Que ya me voy de aquí. Y déjame, sí. Que ya no quiero estar aquí. Y déjame ir. Que ya me voy de aquí. Y déjame, sí. Que ya no quiero estar aquí. Y déjame ir. Que ya me voy de aquí. Y déjame, sí. Que ya no quiero estar aquí.
Okay.
So there you go.
That was really, really cool. Helado Negro.
Yep. Awesome.
Are I Here?
I like all the because I'm not really into the kind of dancey, techno-y type of stuff, but I really like that. I was listening to Beth Orton a lot the past 2
Yeah,
days.
she does have kind of a pop trance thing going.
Oh man, she's so good. It's like, jeez, I wish I could do that.
But it's good that she does it. You do your thing.
I do.
Beth Orton would hear you and be like, "Oh man, I wish I could
I don't think she would. I think
sing like Andrew Grimm."
I don't think that's true.
You know.
You know, all. So cool tunes, a good disco kind of dancey vibe to it.
I would say more trance. Like it wasn't as high energy as disco.
If you could have just seen the chair dancing I just saw, ladies and gentlemen, you would be.
I feel like I was like maybe Muppetized.
You were Muppetized for a moment. Yeah.
I meant dance, not disco. I don't know where my brain is. It's not here.
Okay.
You're going into David Brent territory here
Sorry.
now.
Who's David Brent?
He's the office manager in the original Office.
Right.
Ricky Gervais.
Right. That was a great series.
It was a great
that
series.
2 weeks. 2 week series, or what was it like? No, it was like 9 episodes.
No, it was 2 series. So I think it was like 12 episodes.
12 episodes.
Yeah.
That was really great.
It was super great.
Yeah, and then we Americanized it, put a clock in it, because that's what we do.
Anyway.
Anywho, so tours all looking pretty good.
It's getting better. I have some work to do in the next couple of days of working on a place for us to play in Dallas.
Uh-huh.
So, but we have Little Rock confirmed. We have Birmingham confirmed.
We do not have Nashville confirmed yet.
Nashville friends, if you are out there or know anyone in
March
Nashville.
16th.
Oof. No, it's the 7th.
No,
Friday.
Remember, I put
We're
my foot down.
We're taking St. Patrick's Day off.
We are not going to play on St. Patrick's Day. No way, no how. You can play a gig. This guy's not playing a gig.
So we need a gig on March 16th in Nashville, in or around somewhere near Nashville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
Asheville, I haven't confirmed it yet, but I know we're going to get something there. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
And then that leaves us with Charlotte and Davidson, North Carolina, maybe Davidson. I got to figure that out.
So we're going to work on it for the next week. We're going to solidify some stuff.
Oh, and St. Louis. We don't have anything in St. Louis that Sunday. St. Louis, Lawrence, Kansas, or St. Louis.
Okay, basically we have like half the tour we need to fill.
No, that's not half the tour. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's only like 5 dates.
Tulsa is not
Okay.
3 places.
Well,
5.
you know what? When we get desperate,
Open mics.
openmic.org.
Open mic.
Takes us back to the halcyon days of 2004, when we would go to the.
That was 2004, and we would
That might have been 2005.
I think it was 2005 because that
Yeah.
was the first FOM.
Yeah.
And we were like, let's try it out at open mics. Yeah.
And we went and crashed open mics.
But I mean, I don't think it's crashing them, is it? If you're just going and playing them like a regular person.
We're not regular people, Ellen Cherry.
That's true.
We're superstars.
We're just 2 musicians sitting in a room wondering why we aren't famous for an hour every week.
Well, I remember calling you up. I think it was a Monday night, and I said, "What are you doing? Sitting around?" I was like, "Yeah, me too." I was like, let's go play open mics." And then like a month later or so, I bumped into another musician friend, and he said, "What have you been up to?" I was like, not much. I've been playing these open mics." And he goes, "You're playing open mics. Why are you playing open mics?" And I was like, "I don't know, because I just feel like I should be out there playing a show." He goes, "Do you know that? How do you think the other people feel that you guys are playing open mics?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, aren't you better than the other people at the open mics?" I was like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Yeah, but, I mean, don't you play? You play a lot." I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, those people are just trying to get like their footing. They don't need you to come in and like be better than them." And I was like, "Well, but maybe they do."
No, and also not to put aside how beneficial it is for like me to go to a place like that and workshop songs.
Sure.
And I think one of the reasons that I was doing it up for a while on Facebook where I would just try to like play new things or basically rehearse on Facebook Live. And I haven't been doing that lately because I just haven't felt like it. But open mics are a great place to do that. And there's a bunch in the Baltimore area, especially on Monday nights, that are really, really good with a lot of good people. There's a locally famous one at the 8x10 for years.
Oh, they don't have that anymore.
I know, but remember when I first moved here,
that was a big deal.
The Monday night 8x10 was not like...
You had a line of like 15, 20 people outside
it was
the
like
door.
the gig.
Yeah.
It was the gig.
The gig to get in.
Yeah. And so like open mics, I don't know. I would be happy to play an open mic on Monday night somewhere.
Well, I think that to me, like...
I'm looking forward to it. I really do want to get a gig. I'd rather get a gig.
I'd rather get a gig.
But if we have to put an open mic...
Open mics would be fun.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing about like open mics, like the really great thing about open mics is that if you really want to work on your sound, if you want to really work on like your voice or your guitar playing or what representative sound comes out of you, when you play, play an open mic, because chances are it's going to be a shitty PA, it's going to be a shitty microphone, and like you have to kind of like work that microphone. Like you have to figure out like, well, what do I really sound like? And you can't blame the PA for it.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like I believe every microphone has like most microphones have some sort of sweet spot.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, where do I need to stand? How loudly do I need to project? And then, I mean, there is always like, I always look at the PA before I go up there just to see what their settings are. Like, oh God. Oh Lord, let's just even those out to 12 o'clock.
Because it is frequently people that are doing it
I have no idea.
Yes, but also are doing it out of the love of their hearts and volunteering their time and things like that. Sometimes I don't know. I have a fondness for open mics in my heart. In the same way that I am glad that I don't play bars anymore. Hopefully not again. I mean, it may happen. I may go back to playing bars. But how much I learned from like probably 6 years of bar work. Yeah. Where you just... Man, I learned so much.
Disinfectant.
The most important person to know in any regular bar gig that you do is the bouncer. Uh-huh. Yep. That is the most important person to know. Yep. Who you can have a secret communication with, like a secret way of communicating with just eye contact or hand gestures so that they can see you across the room when somebody is being a real tool. Yep. That is the most important thing.
Second most important person? Bartenders. Because they're the ones that they're there all the time. Yeah. And if you're friends with them, it's a gateway.
Yes.
It's a gateway into the wonderful world of playing that bar again.
So, by the time we broadcast this, it will be 2018.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
May you all find peace and solace in the new year.
Solace?
Same thing, girl. Why are you making fun of the way I talk?
Because you're from Maryland.
I'm from Maryland. Well, my fucking cousin Donnie.
Merlin.
Well, my cousin Donnie, he found some soul ass in when she was dancing up at that Russian strip club up on Pulaski Highway.
Anyway, no, I don't know the Russian strip club on Pulaski Highway.
It's pretty fucking cool.
Mokhba.
Mokhba. It sounds like it's one of the demons from like the eighth circle of hell. Mokhba and Belal.
Are you talking about the Gold Club? That's not on 40.
Oh yeah, the Gold Club. I've never been to a strip club, so I don't really know.
Ever?
Never ever.
In your whole life?
My whole life.
Interesting.
Never been.
I have.
Huh. Not surprising. Was that part of your exploration? Please tell me it was.
My exploration?
Let me quote Ellen Cherry. Star Trek, I'm all about exploration. Blah, blah, blah.
Journeys. Yeah, yes. Sure, let's put it in the category of exploration.
Yeah. To boldly go.
To boldly go. Where plenty of people have gone before.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, well, that's where I learned how to pony.
And on that note, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, folks.
And wish us luck. We are going to be trying to continue to linger in obscurity in 2018.
Yeah, you know what? It's a lot of fun. It's totally cool. You know, I can still go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like nobody bothers me. Nobody stops me. My email does not get jammed up with people asking for like record deals and stuff like that. It's awesome. I'm living month to month with my money. What else? Well, I'm up to 25 subscribers on my subscription service. So take that, Warner Brothers. I don't need your stupid money in your PR department.
Okay, so I don't want to end on such a negative note.
Of course not. Of course you don't. May the force be with you. Whew. Whew, that's a bad movie.
Grimm, and everyone listening, I personally, before we sign off, would like to say, I hope that this year we are all able to reach out with our feelings. And goodbye.
Well, no, wait, you can't say goodbye. Yeah, where do we find you?
Oh, I forgot all about that.
If we're going to look for you on the internet, where would we find
I
Ellen
would like
Cherry?
people to reach out with their money to ellencherry.com. And I also have a subscription service in which I have my 2 items ready to go for this month, this weekend. Yay, finally. Took me a while to figure it out. At ellencherry.bandcamp.com.
Right on.
What about you?
You can find my stuff at junestar.com, JUNESTAR.com. And then my subscription service and all my junk is, my junk's on there.
Celebrity sex tape. Click G.
That's right. There's Grimm. It's called Grimm's Junk. It's more of an asexual movie. It's pretty awesome. You can find me at junestar.bandcamp.com, and there's the $5 subscription, which I have finished I've been doing
A song a week,
public domain songs, reinterpretations of those. Last year I did 52 original songs. So my next contribution goes up Monday morning.
Nice.
It's all done, all recorded, ready to go.
Whee!
Yeah, I really wish those people in the public domain folk world would get beyond 12-bar blues. It's really becoming a thing that I'm like, I've gone from saying like, I'm covering these to I'm like, I'm reinterpreting them.
Totally.
Because they're driving me absolutely crazy. Because it's like, oh my God, one more time, one more 12-bar blues song. That's all I need. Jeez.
It was a pretty depressing time.
It was very depressing, and the songs, oh my goodness, like this. I think next week I'm doing the Willow Garden, which
sad.
Oh, I'm shaking my head, ladies and gentlemen. You do not want to go to the Willow Garden. It is not a pleasant place. It's not a feast for the senses. It's more like a black hole of death and a cesspool of regret. Kind of like Washington D.C. these days. What? Take that, you nerf herders.
Man. Neither of us is allowed to watch Star Wars ever again. Friends, thanks for listening.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to go watch The Room right now. Well, because you wanted to see, ladies and gentlemen, just so you guys know this, Ellen Cherry wanted to go see The Disaster Artist. And I talked her out of it. I didn't really talk her out of it, but I was like, I asked her if she saw The Room yet, and she said no. And I was like, okay, well, I want to see The Last Jedi. And she said, oh, yeah, I want to see that. And I was like, okay, cool. So then we decided we're going to watch The Room and then go see The Disaster Artist, because we have to understand what is being criticized.
I think it's important that when you're looking at poop to understand what the person ate.
Yeah, you gotta dig through there. With
if you're
going to
analyze poop, then you need to understand what was consumed.
Oh yeah, boy. I've only seen part of The Disaster Artist, or part of The Room. I haven't seen the whole thing.
Nice.
But what I remember seeing,
it's gonna be fun.
Oh, yep. All right. Well, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Ellen Cherry.
Happy New Year, Andrew Grimm.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.